Music has been my saviour. It's helped me stand up and fight.
Grime has unlocked a side of me that I've always wanted to be seen.
Men might rule this industry, but we are gonna make a change.
I am determined to make it and prove that I have every right to be here.
If we're going to be noticed, we've got to come together and make a difference.
We're here to be heard.
Well, welcome to London, grime singing girls.
Hopefully this podcast will just help a lot of other girls that feel like they're going into something where there's no other females in it.
There's bare girls coming through.
So what do you think that we should be discussing?
Galdem in the Mandem's world.
That topic there would put a nail in it.
Only.
Galdem sugar.
The sweetness.
That's a perfect name, isn't it?
Yeah. CASSIE. Yeah. No. You don't want to feel my darkness, because now I've come up in the scene so heartless. Now I'm ever on my ones, no partners. Now I only look to God for the answers. Yeah, only so that they can hand a bag of trouble to revealing. Come up in your face and I wash the floor, you walk on, but on the real, you are never that appealing. Give a damn about your future, give a damn about the feeling, man. It's all about the ages when you're all up in the dealing. Yeah. CASSIE.
Mad. Is this what we're playing with? That's mad, that's mad. So the first time I saw you spit, yeah, the energy that you spat with, you seemed like you had been spitting. Do you understand? Like, you seemed like you'd been spitting for time. I thought, where did this girl come from? I remember that set you went to, it was downstairs and it was like a packed out room.
Yeah.
It was ram, big dons, 6'2". No. You were the only female in the room, and I think there were about 20 guys in there.
I was just 16 and I was just like, you know, but you know what? Everyone was nice. Everyone was calm, innit?
But in those scenarios, you've proven yourself time and time again. Like, you've been in those scenarios and you've actually tackled them, innit? A lot of people would fold.
It's just one of them things, yeah, where I was like, I just can't give up. Like, I know I can get this. This is just like a work in progress for me. Like, I know I can get here. I can get this, right? So I kept going time and time again. Hence why I wanted to do so many sets so I could get better. From when I get the mic, I don't have to think. I just go and do what I need to do. Do you know what I mean?
You're good. You're not, I wouldn't say you're good for a female. You're just good, full stop. You're 18. You're talking about real life events and real stuff. You're very real in your lyrics. How's your home life now in relation to all of this? Like, how is that going?
You know what, yeah? My home life is not perfect, as well as everyone else's. I don't really have much support from my family doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But you know what? I know that I'm doing something right. I'm not hurting anyone.
It's your mum right now, innit?
My auntie. I call her my auntie.
Okay, your auntie. So right now is a thing where, you know, finding a way to, you know, clear the air with her.
I've been trying to, though, for like time. It would be nice to have somebody that has been in my life the whole time to at least care or acknowledge what I'm doing.
You're doing really well so far, and it isn't affecting your music.
When I think of family, I haven't given up on it completely. Like, I still see it as something that everybody needs, every child needs, every teenager especially needs, do you know what I mean? And when they don't have that, they're lost in a sense. It's a good thing I have music, do you know what I mean? I'm just starting out in the industry. I feel blessed that Bliss believes in me. Things at home aren't great. I just don't know what to do.
I'm so sick, I might need night nurse. You're not like me, I'm not like her. I'm on fire with no lighter. Can't get stripes off this tiger. I'm up front just like a striker.
Ooh, I see colour in here. This is sick. I've never seen anything like this.
So nice. Oh my God.
How sick are these?
They're sick.
I like this colour though.
I love that.
This is hard. It's my first time at the BRITs. Like, I'm so grateful I'm even going, and I don't want to lose that feeling and excitement just because I can't figure out what I want to wear. But I do think it's a bit out of order that they've written on their cocktail dresses.
No,
That's just
you don't
not
need to
me.
go in dress. You're gonna go as you.
Yeah. I wonder what everyone else is going to wear. Should I care about what people are wearing?
No, why would you care?
I'm just going to go on there and be myself. I think that's the most important thing. I need to stand out. I need to own that red carpet. And I need to let them know that Laughter's here when I step on there. And I'm not just going to be revealing, you know, boobs or whatever on my bum just to get the attention. I'm going to step on and my presence is going to be felt.
Good. How did the podcast meeting go?
Actually really good. They're going to call it Galdem in a man's world.
You know, I'm passionate about all this stuff, but that's
Yeah.
why I love that you're doing this. 'Cause I just
Yeah.
think it's really important for girls and females in the industry. What are you going to talk about?
Obviously, like my personal experiences and just things I've seen other females go through. Pressure of the image, first and foremost. And then just other things like you have to go in harder than the guys to be accepted in the scene. Because I think boys can just get away with a little bit less. You know, they could kind of rock up and then spit okay bars and they're accepted, they're part of the Mandem. Whereas girls, you have to be something outstanding.
So where do you see yourself fitting in with the group of girls then?
I'd like to consider myself as one of the mature ones that are going to bring positivity and help everyone gel together. I'd be interested to see how it all pans out. It's a very talented bunch. All of them are sick. Obviously, Cassie is really young.
Yeah.
So
She's only 18?
yeah, she reminds me of me when
Okay.
I was her age because of her hunger. I think C Cane's going to have a lot to say, and so is Mad as Tiff, and they might, I don't know, there might be a bit of clashing happening there. As long as someone don't come and rip my hair out, or I don't see girls fighting and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because we don't want to be portrayed as these kitty cats. It's not about the grime girls fighting each other every second. But it's going to get deep because I think some people have gone through some madness. If I have, I'm sure all the girls have too. It's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fiery.
Back in the day, you would've got a slap in the face, so you better mind what you say. Before I put a pen to the page, into the cage, I can feel myself getting rage. I'll get up on stage if you come with a wage, I am in my own lane.
How are you?
Stress, I think.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit lost, I feel like. I've just come out of a situation with a guy. I haven't even told you. I wanted to trust him and I trusted him, but then he just kind of messed about.
He's cheated on you. You.
Well,
Matters.
I didn't know. Literally, like, I thought this guy was so amazing. I didn't know. And then I found out he was a lion and I hated him and I just wanted to finish him. I mean, I'm trying to, like, channel my sadness and put it into something positive.
You need to look in the mirror and be like, I'm maddered. You need to do what you do best.
I feel like I need to just put on a brave face. I have to, because it's the only option. Do you know what I mean? That just made me really sad.
You're gonna get through it, okay?
Obviously, when you're loyal to somebody for so long and they just...
Yeah.
I just feel disappointed in myself, really. I just feel like I deserve more, but I don't really know my worth.
What do I always say to you? You're a queen. Like, look at what you're doing for yourself. I know you're upset now. I know you feel like you're in the dumps and that this guy has stripped a bit of your magic away from you, but this is what I mean. You can create this magic back for yourself. You can. You need to just remember that you are a star. Your name's Matters. You'll be mad if you think, oh, you know what, I'm gonna slow down a bit because of someone else has put me through that. Don't let a waste man, like, take away your shine. Don't do that. You're better than that.
But right now, I just feel like I've lost that spark and I need to get it back somehow.
But this is where, obviously, your music and all the things that you love come in.
If anything, it's just helped me to write a banger.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, big up him for that,
Absolutely.
I guess. So...
Right, I am just going to touch
all
my
right, cool,
makeup
go.
now, all right? Thank
I'll be
you,
here
babe.
and get back.
I'll see you in a sec.
My relationship may have ended, but it's really made me open up to my feelings lately. There's so many great things going on in my life. And I'm not just trying to make it for me. I have people depending on me. My focus right now is on my music, and I'm not gonna let any guy distract me.
Girl, them loving the waves. They're straight, but they misbehave. Step in the rave is mad. Girl, them looking so bad. ADHD got me, so I'm up and I'm giving a D. I juke till I please. I juke till she cries, suck me.
Get a picture of me on your phone.
Yeah, man.
Post it on the Instagram and everything. Come then, let's get one. We're gonna do me on the machine or standing up?
The machine, I want people to see that you've been working hard, you know? Okay, I love that, yes. We say an album cover.
Let me see, you never gas me up.
There you go.
Jeez, I like that one.
This one, yeah?
That's the one.
Yeah, man.
Jump back on, man.
I know.
Get some weights up, bro. Make sure you send that to me.
Yeah, of course.
I need to post that before I go out, let everybody know I'm active.
Back in the day, we never posted nothing. Well, our phones could have...
We didn't have cameras on our phones like that.
Oh my gosh.
Right now, if you don't document what you've did, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen, and...
So if I go out tonight and I perform and I don't post it, it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
So it's so important to get everything down. And with grime,
true.
everybody knows what you're up to. They're in your business.
You know what's crazy, yeah? Like, even though I love football, but the feeling I get from you see going on our radio sets is just like the best feeling.
Talking about that, I'm doing a podcast.
Podcast?
Yeah.
Living up in this world.
There's like 4 other girls involved. It's called Galdem Sugar.
Galdem Sugar!
Yeah. It's basically about Galdem in a Mandem world. And how we feel, how we look. It's gonna be lit, man. You know how it is for us girls. Everybody always wants us in dresses. It's still like this now in 2019, that's what I'm trying to say. Yes, it's the same thing.
No way.
It's the same thing with the image. Why do you think most of the girls now that are out there that you see, how are they dressed? Very provocative.
That's true, you know?
Tits are out, this is out, you know? I feel like it's the easy route, innit?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be putting on anything that I wouldn't be comfortable doing just to get further. When it comes to this whole image thing, especially in grime,
yeah,
I feel like women, we've got a harder role to play. If we don't stand out, you're just gonna become part of wallpaper in the room.
Oh, yeah.
How's life, guys?
Life is beautiful.
Yeah.
What about it for you?
It's all right, man. It's all right. It's hard out here.
Still chilling with the Mandems, yeah?
Of course. Can you ever stop chilling with the Mandems? The Mandems are family. From young, all I've had is Mandems. And now I've grown up, all I have is Mandems. I secretly feel like I'm allergic to having female friends.
All I'm gonna say, yeah?
What?
Is all the girls, whether they linked me, liked me or whatever,
Yeah.
they'd always say to me, who's C to you?
Friends. Yeah, you're just a friend.
You're my brethren.
Yeah, for real.
If you've got a problem with it, then I'll go find a girl that is cool with me having girlfriends, fam.
There's a difference between girlfriend and girlfriend, you know? So everyone, they just see, like, obviously when I spit in bars, some of them, I'm a bit aggressive and whatnot, but that's only so I can stand my own ground, so the guys can respect me. So like that's just my experience that I let people know. But like then if girls want to judge me and think that I'm this angry person, that's not my problem, that's theirs. I'm just very, very used to just being around boys. In my area, like in Wandsworth, do you think there was any girls? Bang. There was no girls in the area. I was the only girl. Then because I was so used to it, I went to secondary school and I naturally just went towards the guys.
You see doing grime, being around Mandem, is it easier or is it harder?
It's easier only because I've grown up with Mandem. I know how you guys operate. I know how to be around guys, if that makes sense. And I know what I have to do to get a guy's attention when it comes to music, like to listen to me. And I'm doing a podcast.
Oh, okay. What about?
Yes, it's about Galdem in a man's world. So make sure you guys lock in.
What are your opinions going to be?
Do you know what? My opinions are going to be based off what I've experienced, so I can't really talk for anyone else. So my experience is a lot more different to all the other females, I think. Only because, like I said, I've grown up with the guys. Yeah, man.
It's going to be interesting.
I can't wait to hear it.
You know when opinions clash, though,
Yep.
When opinions clash.
Yep.
And nobody don't want to hear nothing or say nothing. They're just like, yeah, but this is what it is.
But I won't do nothing until they cross the line. And that crossing the line is when you disrespect me. That's the only time I'll probably be like, okay, it's bigger than the podcast now.
You ready for me, Nance?
Come out, yeah? Let's have a look.
I absolutely love this jacket. I think it's so cute.
So cute.
I would definitely wear this, but yeah, I don't know.
You just need to feel comfortable in whatever you're wearing.
Oh, I feel a bit stressed out, lads.
Why do you feel like so pressurised about what you want to wear and stuff like that?
I was young and I was told that for this particular video by this manager that wanted to manage me, I should wear something revealing, a lingerie, because he said that sex sells. I did feel pressurised to be sexualised and reveal skin. I didn't do it, but that's something that I'm gonna address, because obviously I'm not your usual, I don't usually wear what everyone does or what the most popping girls are wearing. I don't reveal as much skin and stuff like that, and I don't feel comfortable doing that. I just need to make it, Nads. I need to help out my family, and I don't know. I do question, should I show more skin? Should I wear revealing stuff?
If there are that pressures that you feel, I think it's really relevant for you guys to talk about in the podcast as well.
Yeah.
So make sure you talk about it, because this is a real life thing that's happening to you, where you're like having to go through this, and most people wouldn't realise that.
It just makes you feel like you're not complete sometimes, this industry, you know?
People have always made comments on my dress sense. Like it or hate it, I will never change myself to fit in. This year is my year, and I'm gonna shine regardless of what people say.
Do you have everything?
Yeah, I've got the majority of the stuff I needed.
Alright, cool. Just making sure. So, what's been going on?
I just feel like it's like coming here is like a getaway. Obviously, your house is like it's just got a great energy. From the moment I stepped in, I said, yeah.
How long are you planning on sticking around for?
Like, obviously this is your house, innit?
But there's
like,
a reason why you're here.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm here, innit? And it's like, it's just a good place for my mindset right now. When I'm at home, obviously the situation with my auntie, it's not really, obviously, you know, she raised me from 3 months, innit? And I call her mum, but I feel there's a huge disconnect between me and her. And I've always felt that way from a young age, but then I'm not saying everything was bad. But from a young age, I felt like I've always had to try and win their love.
Yeah.
We don't really talk or connect in any way. When I try to, don't bat an eyelid, just sits there.
How are you feeling, like, inside?
It kind of breaks my heart, because I love my auntie very unconditionally. Like, I still have love for her now. Like, I'm not saying, with me staying here for a bit, I'm not saying I'm never going to go back and I don't want nothing to do with them.
Obviously, you have to go back at some point.
Yeah. Doing what I do as an artist, I can't afford, I just can't afford to stop, do you understand, for this. I'm trying to make a living from what I'm doing in order to get out of this situation, especially with writing as well. I always talk about feeling like I'm a boss, I'm a don, and you know what I mean? How can I feel that way if I'm in a
if
yard?
you feel the complete opposite.
It took me ages to come out my shell and think, I'm actually a sick human being. I'm really good.
When you're seeking validation inside your own yard.
If you don't validate your child at home, they're going to find it elsewhere.
When you do go back home eventually, like, are you going to sit down and have a talk with your aunt? Are you going to try and come to some kind of common ground? Like, what do you think you'll do?
I don't know. I'm not saying I would never want to speak to my auntie again.
You just don't know how it will pan out.
I don't know. I feel very grateful for my auntie bringing me up, because my real mum and dad couldn't. However, living together, I feel like we haven't been able to see eye to eye lately, and I'm not sure if I have the mental headspace to go back home at the moment.
I feel like the family topic would be really good.
Knowing your roots, basically.
I come from foster care myself. I feel like we're just passing time. Like, when is my mum coming back?
You think you're gonna go back home?
At this point,
Yeah.
still needs a bit of work.
I think Laughta talk was something that I said to her. She thinks that I don't see myself as part of the collective.
Welcome to the Galdem Sugar Podcast. You can listen to episode 1 of Galdem Sugar Podcast, Galdem in the Mandem World, right now on BBC Sounds.
Do you think the Mandem care though?
Sometimes they literally see me as one of them.
What makes you feel like you need to even be
but
considered one of them? No, you're one of them.
Wow.